Hello everyone, and my name's Isaac and welcome. So as the video talks, it's going to be another video of talking about that YouTube has a problem. And if it seems like this is choppy, that's because I'm going to be editing stuff and trying to make sure that I record in short bits so that I stay coherent. That way my ADHD doesn't kick in and I go off topic and don't continue to speak in a coherent fashion. And of course, when I'm talking like this, the cat likes to interrupt because he knows that Daddy's not happy. And, well, little Moon Pie here, he loves his daddy very much, especially since he's a rescue kitty. So, yeah, hi, rescue kitty. Food? Yeah, good boy. But let's talk about YouTube for a second and what's really going on. A very large YouTuber by the name of Cory Kenshin with over 15 million subs recently made a video talking about YouTube potentially playing favorites, as well as YouTube potentially being racist toward him individually, which he's left with no information as to what's going on with his channel. YouTube won't talk to him about it, just like YouTube refuses to talk to any of us at all about our channels. Ever. No matter what goes on, no matter what happens. Come here, buddy. There. YouTube does not want to talk to us. They don't want to try and help us out. They don't want to try and provide us with real human interaction when it comes to our channels and when it comes to working with the company as a partner. None of this is good, by the way. None of it makes sense, even from a business perspective. For those of you who know me or have watched my channel for a long time, you'll know that I grew up with business. My parents ran their own small business. I grew up reading Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad series. I've studied business ever since I could still read. Other than Egyptology, company and business is pretty much the number one subject that I can sit there and do a master class on if I'm prompted to. And so I might do a little bit of that. I'm going to try to kind of dumb this down as much as I can in plebeian terms. That way that, everyone can understand what I'm talking about and I'm not going off in tangents and speaking in words and languages that the common person may not understand. And if I do mention something or say a word that people don't understand, I will try to simplify and give a simplified answer for you. So let's talk about a little bit of what Cory is referring to, and that is that essentially that YouTube, and he believes, and I would believe very much from what I've seen in my own personal experience, not only with my channel but other channels, that YouTube has a habit of doing things like shadow banning channels or throttling views to different channels depending on whatever it may be. Maybe because someone said something nasty about YouTube, so then YouTube starts throttling the channel, making it harder for them to be found, harder for them to get out there and actually be heard. Sometimes it can be just random. You can have cases like Cory Kenshin is talking about where he has 15 million subscribers, and you'll do a video on something that's a popular topic. For example, you make a FNAF video, right? FNAF is a very popular game. You'd think you'd get plenty of views on it. Well, you put it out there, and the video gets nothing. Crickets. You do another video on a popular topic. Still crickets. It's almost as if YouTube is actively trying to prohibit channels from growing or getting bigger or becoming more popular. And even popular channels are finding it hard to stay where they are because viewers are not receiving videos like they're supposed to. In some cases, notifications aren't getting sent out to people who are subscribed to the channel, even if you click the bell. It makes it very difficult for these, for these channels to actually get out there. And the thing is, the reason why I say this makes no sense from a business perspective is you have to consider YouTube's business model. And for those of you who aren't familiar with that term, a business model is what a company does to make profit. It's how the company plans to make money for its investors and for those who own it. And YouTube's business model isn't exactly new. We know of it as a video sharing platform, but that's not what YouTube does to make money. Pardon me while I drink my Pepsi to keep my throat from going dry here. Its business model is to sell ad space on videos for advertisers. And the amount that it uses to kind of charge advertiser, or the metric it uses to charge advertisers, is how many users are on the platform at any given time and how much they're watching at any given time. So, of course, for YouTube, the more people using the platform, the more they can charge. And the number one way to get more people using the platform is to have more and more large channels, and by extension, greater numbers of content creators that are popular, that people want to watch. So, in a sense, it makes very little sense at all as to YouTube trying to curtail content creators from becoming large, or even for large content creators to being given access to their audience. YouTube needs these content creators to have access to their audience so that they can sell space on the video to the advertiser. So it makes zero sense that they're curtailing people. It makes no sense at all that YouTube is doing this, yet from what we can see as content creators, that's exactly what they do. They curtail videos from getting out into the public. And, you know, I get it. I understand that some people, but what about fake news and stuff? And it's like, well, first off, that's not YouTube's problem. YouTube's job is not to do the research or babysit you. I hate to say it, it's a platform. Unless someone is putting straight up, illegal content, whether that's via copyrighted material or little more raunchy material that doesn't belong on the internet, that's against the TOS. Honestly, from a business perspective, YouTube shouldn't care. Plain and simple, YouTube should not care at all. Is it making us money? Cool beans, no care at all. And the thing is, why are YouTubers so pissed off about this? A lot of people probably don't realize what's going on. Consider this, okay? YouTube's business model is pretty much the same as any Hollywood studio, except for the studios would sell like spots of advertisement or placement within their shows and movies. YouTube also doesn't have to do something the studios do. YouTube does not have to take the risk of the cost for the production. The content creators do. Content creators have to pay for the games that we play. Content creators have to pay for the microphones, the computers, the consoles, the capture cards. For us, we take on all of the risk, all of the expense, with the hope and the promise that our videos will reach an audience. Now, I'm not saying this as someone who's mad because he's not a large YouTuber. Bitch, please. I assumed it would take me years for this to even kick off at all. But my problem, personally, is the fact that it feels like I'm not even getting the chance. And it's not just me, it's any small content creator. It's hard for me, especially someone who talks to somebody when I'm working retail, and I tell them that, yes, I run a YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm part of the partner program. It's hard for me to try and tell someone like a kid that there might be a future doing this. And for many kids, that may actually be the only real future they might have. It's sad to say. It's messed up we had to say that, for example. And for a lot of people, that they might go, what? Why? Well, consider this. I actually started my channel to help my severely mentally and physically disabled friend, the Lich, who, for the most part, really couldn't hold a job without making himself severely sick. So we decided to kind of start this channel as a means of doing something we liked and potentially giving him a chance to be able to earn a little cash. Now, it's hard for anyone to build anything on this platform. It really is. It didn't always used to be. It doesn't make sense that it is. And the reason I say that again is exactly what I said. That YouTube for in general, should want as many big channels as it can possibly get its hands on. It should want, per its own model, for as many channels to get large and popular as possible. And the thing is, they have the best thing to do it because they're not paying for the production of it. We are. For many studios, the reason why a lot of shows don't get greenlit is because of the fact that they would have to pay for all this stuff. YouTube doesn't. All YouTube literally has to do is just allow it to be uploaded to their platform, and bam, there you go. Either the person sucks at what they do, or people will like them. And this is just that small little bit of a problem. There are copyright issues on YouTube where essentially the copyright system can be literally used by pirates to steal other content creators' content. This happened to a ASMR VTuber not very long ago, I think a few months ago, where even though she informed YouTube that this person was copying her content and either pitching the voice really high or really low, and was asking YouTube to take these videos down because they were theft, YouTube didn't do it. Not only did YouTube not do that, the pirate was allowed to file a DMCA, a takedown notice against the original creator. Holy crap. Even though they were publicly told and informed by the original creator that this person was a pirate, that this person was stealing their content, YouTube allowed that person to file a DMCA. Now, YouTube will try and say, well, we're not mediators. You don't have to be a mediator in that case. You can literally look at them and go, look, as far as we're concerned, as far as the timestamps on these videos and your videos, as far as we can see, she's the original creator, you are not. We have a request on file to take down your videos. That's what they should have told them. They did not do it. They allowed the DMCA, and now that person had to basically go fight this pirate to get to keep their content safe. And that is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Look what they did. Matter of fact, YouTube not recently also did something to Markiplier too. One of the biggest channels on the platform. Markiplier makes a video calling out YouTube on their BS. And YouTube, in response, not only for doing the try not to get age restricted, but in response to that video, removes his clips from a major event that they used his face to advertise. They used his face, his imagery, to advertise for that event. I mean, to be honest, to a legal standpoint, that's almost false advertisement. And that actually, if from a business perspective, that's not only damaging to YouTube for the fact that they themselves are using misleading imagery and misleading content to advertise an event, but it's potentially damaging to Mark. Because someone who goes to watch that event, specifically because they like Markiplier, goes there, right, sees no Markiplier. So now it looks like Mark is lying about being a part of this product, part of this project, part of this event. And so now he looks like an a-hole. It makes him look bad. It damages his label, his own business, his own product, basically. YouTube didn't care. This is becoming a problem. This is not only YouTube being shitty, but this is a matter that YouTube needs to fix, and it needs to fix yesterday. None of this should happen. None of it. This playing favorites, this blatant childlike action. And that's what it is. Childlike action. Matter of fact, retaliation, which is also illegal. Believe it or not, companies are actually not allowed to pull that kind of crap against you for retaliation. If you call them out on something that there is evidence that they're doing, and they do something against you that's called retaliation, and that's actually illegal, they're actually not allowed to do that, and you can take them to court for that. But it's straight up childlike. And this is supposed to be a company run by college-educated young men and women. Just people in general who went to college, who I'm hoping had some kind of minor in business or major in business, and should know this. So there is no excuse for this terrible behavior. There is no excuse for just how badly YouTube is doing this. At all. If you get called out because you're doing something wrong as a company, fix it! As far as the copyright thing is concerned, require paperwork, require evidence that you actually own the content before you allow them to file a DMCA. It's not hard. It's not mediation. It's literally going, you're claiming to own this copyrighted content. We want proof so we know we're not allowing our system to be used as a means to falsify evidence or to falsify stealing of content, okay? It's not that hard. It's not that hard to not clip or take out a major YouTuber's content from a project because they called you out on something. That is called being professional. which you are supposed to be. YouTube, you are a professional company, not some ragtag band of teenagers. And you really shouldn't be pulling this crap, considering how much attention is about to be brought onto you. Twitter is going to be the canary in a coal mine. Twitter is already another social media platform that is getting a lot of scrutiny. And if they're found to have shady ass practices, you're next. Because guess what? The advertisers are going to start asking you questions next. They're going to be asking you, how many actual users do you have? They're going to be digging into your files and demanding proof that everything here is organic. And if you can't prove that, you will be done in the dirt. And there went your job. Twitter is already looking at potentially disappearing as a company. Don't become them. These things are fixable. Do it. This is not just a matter of protecting the content creators. This is protecting your own jobs. Because I guarantee you, if it comes back that what you're currently doing destroys your company, no one else is going to hire you. You need content creators. You need people to come to this website to watch. And you have an advantage no other platform has. You are the only platform for which a person can make an income. People can get viral on TikTok. They're not getting paid a dime for it. All the TikTokers have to come here to get paid for it. Lean into that. And the best way to do that is to literally stop trying to curtail channels, stop trying to kill channels before they even get a chance. It's not costing you really any cash to do that. And don't give me this, oh, but it costs money for servers. Servers are nothing compared to having to pay for an actual studio, to have to pay for actors and CGI. The fact that YouTube content creators are paying for all of this, not YouTube, should be a hint. This is not good. YouTube needs to fix itself. Badly. Please, YouTube, hear the call of your content creators. All of us, big and small. We are begging you to be better as a platform. And it literally is for your own interest to do so. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe, my friends, and take care.